don't know who needs to hear this today, but kohlrabis are not natural. Kohlrabis are a product of a mutation that in nature would have been a brief blip on the evolutionary record, followed by a swift retribution by God. They are an abomination, in other words. A swollen stem tasting like nothing but regret. I looked it up on Wikipedia. Apparently, first record for Kohlrabi is in the mid-1500s. They appear to have popped up in Italy. And I imagine the scene. A poor Italian peasant, we can call him Giacomo. I'm not even sure if that's a real Italian name. It sounds Italian. Beppo, I don't know. Giacomo. Giacomo goes to bed one night, happy, content. He does not have a kohlrabi. And he wakes up the next morning, and all of a sudden, he has a kohlrabi. And I can only imagine his reaction when he walks down to his cabbage field to inspect his cabbages, give him a little stroke. All of a sudden, there is one that is not a cabbage. Mamma mia, che cazzo, per favore! Santa Maria, dal cazzo grandissimo di Dio! And then someone hears us screaming and comes along, and their reaction is, "Tu devi sentire Dio, puttana Maria! Mario e Luigi!" And of course now Giacomo is in a bind, because this is medieval Europe, and this is clearly an affront to God. And so Giacomo suddenly realizes the situation he's in and says, I had a dream last night. The angel Gabriel came to me and said that I am the one to bring God's new creation to the world. And the other one says, this is clearly not from God. They bring in a priest to adjudicate. And the priest agrees that this is horrifying, disgusting, unbearable to look at, burns his eyes, almost bleeding from the eyeballs. I don't actually hate kohlrabis that much. And the priest says, okay, it's clear that we have to decide, so we'll do a trial by fire. And Giacomo says, okay, what's a trial by fire? And the priest explains, we're going to burn you alive. And let the ashes cool, and if the ashes are black, you were guilty. And if the ashes are white, then we say sorry. So we know the rest of the story, because of course the kohlrabis continued to exist. Giacomo was very happy with his apology from heaven. And kohlrabis swept Europe in a craze. People could not get enough of this abomination. They were like, this is horrible, I want more. medieval Europe was a very boring place. Do you know, medieval Europe was so boring. This is a true story, not even slightly modified. You can trust me. Europe was so boring that King Richard II of England was going to be King Richard III. It doesn't matter though, because I made this up. Be quiet. I deny the allegations. King Richard III, I think, of England, was once approached by 3 of his most trusted advisors. They came up to him and said, "My king, the people are very bored. It's been almost 20 years without a plague. What do we do, king? My lord, sir, your majesty." And King Richard was a very wise king, and he thought about this very carefully and said, "This is a grave situation. I think what we could do is put a bunch of people on a ship, and then we travel very far, and we take some pointy bits of metal, and then we poke them into other human beings who look slightly different to us. And then here's the fun part. It wasn't that fun. It was quite horrible. The other human beings poked them with pointy bits of metal. That is how boring it was in Europe. This was preferable. Anyway, people love the Kohlrabi.